When they hurt you, something inside you may want to break open. Your mind may run back to the words they said, the way they left, the way they treated you, the way they made you feel small when all you wanted was love, care, truth, or respect. And in that moment, it can feel almost impossible to stay calm. It can feel impossible to breathe without pain sitting in your chest. It can feel impossible to think clearly when your heart is asking, why did they do this to me? Why did they treat me this way? Why did I give so much and receive so little in return? But my love, listen to this gently. When someone hurts you, your peace becomes the most sacred thing you must protect. Not because what happened was small, not because your feelings do not matter, not because you should pretend you are fine, but because your peace is the part of you that still belongs to you. Their actions may have touched your heart, but they do not get to own your soul. They may have disappointed you, but they do not get to decide how long you suffer. They may have spoken without care, acted without kindness, or walked away without understanding your pain, but they do not get to take the light that life placed inside you. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Staying calm when someone hurts you does not mean you are accepting the hurt. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you have no feelings. It means you are choosing not to let pain make you forget who you are. It means you are choosing not to let their behavior pull you into a version of yourself that you will later feel sorry for. It means you are saying, even though this hurts, I will not abandon myself. Even though I feel pain, I will not become pain. Even though my heart is shaking, I will return to peace one gentle thought at a time. This is where healing begins, not when they come back, not when they apologize, not when they explain everything, not when they finally understand what they did. Healing begins when you stop waiting for their behavior to give you permission to feel calm. Healing begins when you choose peace before the world around you changes. You may be sitting with a heavy heart right now. You may be thinking about someone who did not see your value. Maybe they ignored you when you needed love. Maybe they blamed you when you needed comfort. Maybe they made promises and then acted as if those words meant nothing. Maybe they left you confused, asking yourself if you were too much, too soft, too loving, too trusting. But I want to place a loving truth in your heart. The way they treated you is not proof of your lack of worth. It is only proof of where they were inside themselves. People can only meet you from the level of healing, honesty, and love they carry within. If someone is filled with fear, they may act with distance. If someone is filled with pain, they may speak with sharp words. If someone has not learned how to love with care, they may hurt the very heart that tried to love them. But that does not make your love foolish. That does not make your kindness wrong. That does not make your heart weak. A soft heart is not a mistake. A loving heart is not a weakness. A trusting heart is not something to be ashamed of. The answer is not to become cold. The answer is to become wise. There is a moment after someone hurts you when your mind wants to take control. It wants to replay every detail. It wants to build a case. It wants to find the exact sentence that could have changed everything. It wants to answer the message, send the message, delete the message, read the message again, and then wonder why your body feels so tired. The mind thinks that if it keeps repeating the pain, it will finally understand it. But many times, replaying does not bring peace. It only opens the wound again. It brings the same feeling back into your body. It makes the heart live the hurt many times, even though the event happened only once. This is why choosing peace is so powerful. Peace says, I do not need to replay this pain in order to prove that it hurt. Peace says, I do not need to explain my worth to someone who could not see it. Peace says, I can honor what happened without letting it become my whole life. When you choose peace, you are not denying the wound. You are creating the space where the wound can finally begin to heal. My dear, you may feel anger. Let it be noticed. You may feel sadness. Let it be held with kindness. You may feel betrayed. Let that feeling be real without letting it become your home. Every feeling is allowed, but every feeling does not need to lead your life. You can feel hurt and still choose not to harm yourself with your own thoughts. You can feel angry and still choose not to speak from a broken place. You can feel disappointed and still choose not to close your heart forever. There is a gentle power in saying, I feel this, but I will not let it rule me. I feel this, but I will not let it turn me against myself. I feel this, but I will come back to love. That is not fake peace. That is deep healing. That is the kind of peace that grows roots inside you. It does not depend on who stays, who leaves, who says sorry, or who remains silent. It comes from your decision to care for your own spirit. Think of your heart like a quiet room. When someone hurts you, it feels as if they walked into that room and threw everything onto the floor. Your peace is disturbed, your trust is shaken, your thoughts feel scattered. But you do not have to live in that mess forever. You can begin to pick up one small piece at a time. You can begin by saying, I am safe with myself. You can begin by saying, I choose not to punish myself for someone else's actions. You can begin by saying, I am allowed to feel, and I am also allowed to heal. These words may seem simple, but simple words can open great doors inside the heart. Your mind does not need something complicated. Your nervous system does not need harsh pressure. Your soul needs kindness. Your soul needs a voice that says, come back home now. Come back to yourself. Come back to peace. When pain comes, the ego wants victory. It wants to win, to prove, to defend, to show the other person what they lost. But the soul wants freedom. The soul does not ask, how can I make them suffer? The soul asks, how can I stop carrying this suffering? The soul does not ask, how can I make them understand me? The soul asks, how can I understand myself with more love? The soul does not ask, how can I control what they do next? The soul asks, how can I choose peace in this moment? This is the higher path. It is not always easy. It may not satisfy the part of you that wants quick justice, but it will save your spirit from becoming trapped in bitterness. You were not created to live with a heart full of anger. You were not created to carry the weight of someone else's unhealed behavior. You were created to love, to grow, to learn, to rise, and to return again and again to the truth that peace is your natural state. There is a deep truth I want you to feel. No one can take your peace unless you keep handing it to them through your thoughts. They may have hurt you once, but your mind can hurt you many times by repeating the same memory with the same fear, the same anger, and the same question. Why? 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 Sometimes the answer does not come because the answer is not what heals you. Sometimes peace comes when you stop needing the answer to be different. Sometimes peace comes when you say, I may never fully understand why they did what they did, but I understand what I need now. I need calm. I need love. I need rest. I need distance from what keeps breaking me. I need to choose myself. This is not selfish. This is not cruel. This is not cold. This is self-respect with a soft heart. It is the moment you stop asking pain to explain itself and start giving your energy back to healing. Let these words rest in your heart. I can be hurt and still be peaceful. I can be disappointed and still be whole. I can be misunderstood and still know who I am. I can release the need to react. I can choose calm without denying my feelings. I can choose peace without excusing what happened. Let them move through you like warm light. Let them touch the places inside you that feel tight, tired, or afraid. You do not have to force yourself to feel better. You do not have to rush your healing. You do not have to pretend that nothing happened. You only need to begin softening the place where pain has been living too long. You only need to make one gentle choice in this moment. I will not let this hurt turn me against myself. I will not let this pain make me forget my worth. I will not let another person's actions decide the condition of my heart. This is the sacred moment. This is where you return to your own power. Not by shouting, not by proving, not by chasing, not by making them see what they should have seen before. You return to your power by becoming still enough to hear your own soul again. Beneath the anger, your soul is asking for peace. Beneath the sadness, your soul is asking for love. Beneath the confusion, your soul is asking you to come home. And home is not their approval. Home is not their apology. Home is not their attention. Home is the quiet place inside you where you remember, I am still worthy. I am still loved by life. I am still whole. I am still safe to heal. The hurt may be real, but it is not the end of your story. The wound may be deep, but your spirit is deeper. The pain may be loud, but peace is stronger when you choose it again and again. So when they hurt you, stay calm, not because they deserve your silence, but because you deserve your peace. Stay calm, not because the hurt was right, but because your heart is too sacred to be ruled by someone else's lack of care. Stay calm, not because you feel nothing, but because you feel deeply, and you are learning how to protect the depth of your own heart. This calm is not empty. It is full of wisdom. It is full of self-love. It is full of quiet strength. It says, I will not become what hurt me. I will not carry what was never mine. I will not let this moment steal the rest of my life. I choose peace now. I choose healing now. I choose myself now. The deepest pain is often not only what someone did, it is what their actions made you believe about yourself. This is why hurt can stay in the heart long after the moment has passed. The words may be over. The conversation may be finished. The person may be gone. But inside, the wound keeps speaking. It may whisper, maybe I was not enough. Maybe I loved too much. Maybe I trusted too quickly. Maybe I should have known better. Maybe I am hard to love. My dear, these thoughts can hurt more than the event itself, because they take someone else's behavior and turn it into a story about your own worth. And that is where healing must begin. Not only with what happened, penned outside of you, but with the meaning you gave it inside of you. When someone hurts you, the mind often tries to make sense of the pain by blaming the self. It says, if I had been different, maybe they would have stayed. If I had said the right thing, maybe they would have cared. If I had been more beautiful, more patient, more successful, more quiet, more exciting, more useful, maybe they would not have treated me that way. But love, this is not truth. This is pain looking for a reason. Pain often wants to blame something close, and the closest thing is usually yourself. But the fact that someone hurt you does not mean you caused the hurt. The fact that someone could not value you does not mean you had no value. The fact that someone could not love you in a healthy way does not mean you were not worthy of healthy love. Their actions belong to them. Your healing belongs to you. There is a difference between learning and blaming. Learning says, I see what happened and I will grow from it. Blaming says, what happened proves something is wrong with me. Learning opens the heart. Blaming closes it. Learning gives you wisdom. Blaming gives you shame. And you were not meant to carry shame for someone else's choices. You can learn from the experience without calling yourself foolish. You can see the signs you missed without hating yourself for missing them. You can admit that you gave too much without deciding that your love was wrong. You can grow stronger without becoming hard. You can become wiser without becoming bitter. This is the gentle path of healing. It does not attack you. It supports you. It does not punish you. It teaches you with love. The real wound often begins when the heart feels rejected. Rejection can make even the strongest person feel small. It can make you look in the mirror and wonder what they did not choose. It can make you search your own face, your own body, your own words, your own past, trying to find the reason they pulled away, lied, betrayed, ignored, or changed. But rejection is not always a sign that something is missing in you. Sometimes rejection is redirection. Sometimes it is life moving you away from a place where your heart could not bloom. Sometimes it is protection from a love that would have kept asking you to shrink. Sometimes the door closes because staying would have cost you your peace. You may not see it yet, but one day you may look back and say, "I cried when it ended, but my soul was being saved." When someone hurts you, the heart can start to ask for proof. It wants proof that you mattered, proof that the love was real, proof that they regret it, proof that they understand, proof that they will not do it again. But my love, be careful not to hand your healing to someone who has already shown you they do not know how to hold your heart with care. Your worth does not need their proof. Your worth does not wait for their regret. Your worth does not rise if they come back or fall if they stay away. You are worthy beyond because you exist. You are worthy because life placed you here. You are worthy because your heart, even after pain, still knows how to love. That is not a small thing. That is a beautiful thing. Sometimes the pain feels so deep because you did not only lose the person, you lost the version of the future you imagined with them. You lost the hope that they would become who you needed them to be. You lost the dream that your love would be enough to heal the distance, fix the conflict, soften the coldness, or bring back the kindness. This kind of loss is quiet, and not everyone understands it. People may say, "Move on, forget them, let it go." But inside, you are not only letting go of a person, you are letting go of what you hoped their love would become. Be gentle with yourself here. Hope can take time to release. The heart does not always drop a dream in one moment. Sometimes it loosens slowly, like a hand opening after holding on for a long time. Let it open with kindness. Let it open without shame. The wound also deepens when you keep asking, "Why was I not enough for them?" But the healing question is different. Ask instead, "Why did I think I needed to be enough for someone who was not showing enough care? Why did I keep giving my energy to a place where my heart did not feel safe? Why did I confuse being chosen with being valued?" These questions are not meant to hurt you. They are meant to wake you gently. Because many times, the pain is not only about the one who hurt you. It is also about the part of you that stayed hungry for love in a place that kept feeding you confusion. That part of you does not need judgment. It needs comfort. It needs you to say, "I understand why you stayed. You wanted love. You wanted safety. You wanted the good moments to become the whole story." But now we are learning. Now we are coming home. When the heart is wounded, it can become attached to small signs. A message, a memory, a kind word they once said, a moment when they looked at you with softness, and the mind says, see, there was love there. See, maybe it can return. See, maybe if I wait, they will become that version again. But peace asks you to look at the whole truth, not only the small, beautiful pieces. A few good moments do not erase repeated pain. A kind word does not excuse careless actions. A soft memory does not always mean a safe future. You can honor what was good without denying what was harmful. You can be thankful for the love you felt without returning to the place that broke your peace. This is wisdom. This is maturity. This is the heart learning to see clearly. There may be a part of you that feels embarrassed for being hurt. Maybe you think you should have known better. Maybe you wonder why you trusted them. Maybe you feel ashamed that you allowed yourself to care so deeply. But love, please do not punish yourself for having an open heart. You did not do something wrong by loving. You did not do something wrong by hoping. You did not do something wrong by believing in someone's better side. The lesson is not that you should never love again. The lesson is that love must also include you. Love must include your peace. Love must include your boundaries. Love must include your truth. If loving someone means losing yourself, then that love is asking for too much. Real love does not ask you to abandon your own soul. The wound begins to heal when you stop using their behavior as a mirror. If they ignored you, it does not mean you are invisible. If they lied to you, it does not mean you were foolish. If they betrayed you, it does not mean you were not enough. If they left, it does not mean you are easy to leave. If they chose someone else, it does not mean you were less. Their choices are not a holy mirror of your value. They are simply their choices. Some people choose from fear. Some people choose from ego. Some people choose from pain. Some people choose what is easy instead of what is true. Some people do not know how to hold something real without running from it. But none of that changes the truth of who you are. You are still worthy. You are still enough. You are still able to love and be loved in a way that feels safe. I want you to place a new thought in the space where shame has been living. Say softly within yourself, what they did is not who I am. What they failed to see does not remove my value. What they could not give does not mean I asked for too much. Let this thought be like clean water moving through the heart. Let it wash away the old story that says you were the reason for the hurt. You may have things to learn, yes. You may have boundaries to build, yes. You may have patterns to change, yes. But you do not have to hate yourself in order to grow. You do not have to become your own enemy in order to become wiser. Healing grows best in kindness. A heart that is attacked cannot heal deeply. A heart that is loved begins to open again. Sometimes your deepest wound is the feeling that your love was wasted. You gave time, care, patience, support, forgiveness, and hope. You gave pieces of yourself that you may now wish you had protected. But nothing given from love is truly wasted if it teaches you to love yourself more clearly. The lesson is not that your love had no meaning. The lesson is that your love must have a home inside you before it pours into someone else. When your love leaves you empty, it is asking to return to balance. When your giving becomes pain, it is asking for boundaries. When your kindness is taken for granted, it is asking for self-respect. Your love is not the problem. The lack of protection around your love is what needs healing. You can keep your loving nature and still choose better. You can remain soft and still become strong. There is also a hidden wound that comes from waiting for them to change, waiting for them to explain, waiting for them to care the way you cared, waiting for them to choose you with the same depth that you chose them. Waiting can become a quiet prison when your peace depends on someone else's awakening. But my dear, their awakening is not your job. Their growth is not your responsibility. Their healing is not the price you must pay to be loved. You can wish them well and still stop waiting. You can have love in your heart and still step away from what hurts you. You can release the hope that they will become someone else and begin to care for the person you are right now. This is not giving up on love. This is refusing to give up on yourself. Let yourself feel the truth of this. You were hurt, but you are not ruined. You were disappointed, but you are not empty. You were not treated with the care you deserved, but you are still deserving of care. There is a part of you beneath the pain that has never been damaged. It is the part that still believes in light. It is the part that wants peace more than pride. It is the part that brought you here to listen, to heal, to soften, to remember. That part is your true self. It has been waiting for you to stop looking only at the wound and start looking at the life still moving through you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still able to choose a new thought. And as long as you can choose a new thought, a new chapter can begin. The real wound heals when you stop asking the pain to define you. Yes, it happened. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it changed something inside you. But it does not get to write your whole identity. You are not the one who was betrayed. You are the one who is learning to trust yourself again. You are not the one who was abandoned. You are the one who is coming home to your own heart. You are not the one who was rejected. You are the one who is remembering your own worth. You are not the one who was broken. You are the one who is becoming more whole, more honest, more loving, more wise. This is the sacred reframe. Pain may be part of your story, but peace can become the voice that tells the story now. So today, speak to the wound with gentleness. Do not tell it to disappear. Do not tell it that it is foolish. Do not tell yourself you should be over it already. Say instead, I see you. I understand why you hurt. I understand why you are tired, but we are not going to live here forever. We are going to heal. We are going to breathe again. We are going to learn how to feel safe inside ourselves. We are going to stop turning someone else's choices into our own shame. We are going to come back to love. This is how the wound begins to soften. Not through force, not through denial, through loving awareness, through the gentle truth that what happened to you is not the same as who you are. Staying calm after someone hurts you may be one of the strongest things you will ever do. It is easy to react from pain. It is easy to answer sharp words with sharper words. It is easy to let anger take the wheel and drive your heart into places it never wanted to go. But calmness asks for something deeper. Calmness asks you to become bigger than the moment. It asks you to remember who you are while pain is trying to make you forget. It asks you to stand inside your own spirit and say, I will not let this hurt choose my character. I will not let someone else's behavior turn me into someone I do not want to be. I will respond from my truth, not from my wound. Many people misunderstand calmness. They think if you stay calm, you are letting someone get away with what they did. They think calmness means you have no backbone, no voice, no strength. But true calmness is not fear. True calmness is not silence that comes from feeling powerless. True calmness is not accepting poor treatment. True calmness is inner control. It is the power to say, I can feel deeply without losing myself completely. I can be hurt without becoming cruel. I can see the truth without creating more pain. I can choose my next step from wisdom, not from emotional fire. This kind of calmness is not weakness. It is mastery of your own energy. It is the soul refusing to be dragged into a storm that does not belong to it. When you stay calm, you are not saying the hurt was okay. You are saying your peace is too valuable to throw into the hands of someone who did not handle your heart with care. You are saying, I will not spend my sacred energy proving my pain to someone who may not be ready to understand it. You are saying, I choose dignity. I choose self-respect. I choose to protect my mind from becoming a battlefield. That is not weakness. That is deep power. The world often teaches us that power is loud, fast, and forceful. But spiritual power is often quiet. It is the hand that does not shake while the heart is healing. It is the breath that returns even when the mind wants to run. It is the soft voice inside that says, stay with yourself. Do not leave yourself now. Staying calm also gives you the gift of clear sight. When you react too quickly, you may speak from the wound instead of the truth. You may say things that come from panic, not wisdom. You may make choices just to stop the pain, not to honor your future. But when you choose calm, space opens. In that space, you can see more clearly. You can ask, what is really happening here? What do I need? What is healthy for me? What does my peace require now? Calmness gives you the space to choose instead of being pushed by pain. It gives you the space to hear your soul beneath the noise. And often, the soul does not speak in panic. It speaks quietly. It says, step back, rest, do not chase, do not beg. Do not explain yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. Let peace show you the way. There is a kind of strength that does not need to prove itself. It does not need to send the long message. It does not need to tell everyone the story. It does not need to make the other person look bad. It does not need to win the argument. It simply chooses the path that protects the heart. Sometimes that path is a calm conversation. Sometimes it is distance. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is leaving the situation completely. But when the choice comes from peace, it carries a different energy. It does not come from revenge. It comes from self-respect. It does not come from wanting to hurt them back. It comes from wanting to stop hurting yourself. This is how calmness becomes protection. When someone hurts you, they may expect your reaction. They may expect you to break, to chase, to explain, to prove, to lose control. But when you stay calm, you return the energy to its rightful place. You no longer feed the storm. You no longer let the wound become entertainment for someone else's ego. You no longer become trapped in the cycle of reaction and regret. You stand quietly in your own worth. You may still cry later. You may still need time. You may still feel the ache, but you did not give your power away in the moment. That matters. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you teach your body that you are safe with yourself. You teach your heart that pain will not always lead to self-abandonment. You teach your mind a new pattern. I can feel this and still remain whole. Calmness is also the bridge between hurt and healing. Without calmness, the heart stays in defense. It stays ready to fight, explain, protect, or run. But healing needs safety. Healing needs softness. Healing needs an inner environment where the body can stop bracing and the mind can stop attacking. When you choose calm, you are creating that inner environment. You are saying to your nervous system, we are not in danger now. We are allowed to breathe. We are allowed to think clearly. We are allowed to respond later. We are allowed to choose peace. This is why staying calm is not only emotional strength. It is an act of healing for your whole being. Your body listens. Your heart listens. Your cells listen. The moment you choose peace, something inside you begins to loosen. Now, staying calm does not mean you must stay near the person who hurt you. This is very important. Peace is not the same as access. Forgiveness is not the same as permission. Calmness is not the same as staying available to pain. You can be calm and still set a boundary. You can be calm and still say no. You can be calm and still walk away. You can be calm and still decide that a person no longer gets the same place in your life. In fact, true calmness often gives you the courage to make choices that anger could never make clearly. Anger may slam the door. Peace knows when to close it gently and not reopen it without real change. Anger wants to punish. Peace wants to protect. Anger wants to prove. Peace wants to heal. There may be moments when your calmness feels like loneliness. You may wonder, if I do not react, will they think they won? If I do not defend myself, will they think they were right? If I choose peace, will my pain be invisible? But my love, your healing is not a performance. You do not need to prove your pain for it to be real. You do not need to make noise for your heart to matter. You do not need to convince someone else that they hurt you in order to begin healing from it. Life sees your heart. Your soul knows the truth, and the truth does not become less true because someone refuses to admit it. Stay calm, not to protect their comfort, but to protect your spirit. Stay calm because your nervous system deserves rest. Stay calm because you are no longer willing to destroy yourself trying to make another person understand. There is a sacred sentence I want you to carry. I can choose peace and still honor my pain. This means you do not have to choose between feeling and healing. You do not have to become numb to become peaceful. You do not have to deny your tears to be strong. You can let the tears come and still choose not to create more suffering. You can admit, this hurt me deeply, and still say, I will not let it poison me. You can be honest about the wound and still keep your heart open to life. This is the balance. This is where true healing lives. Not in pretending, not in exploding, but in feeling with love and choosing with wisdom. The calm person is not the person who feels nothing. The calm person is the one who has learned not to hand every feeling the power to lead. Feelings are visitors. They come with messages, but they are not always meant to become decisions. Anger may visit to show you where a boundary is needed. Sadness may visit to show you where love was missing. Disappointment may visit to show you where truth must be faced. But you do not have to build a home for every visitor. You can listen, learn, and let the feeling move through. Calmness helps you do this. It lets you say, anger, I hear you, but I will not let you speak for me. Sadness, I feel you, but I will not let you define me. Fear, I understand you, but I will not let you choose my future. When you stay calm, you begin to break old patterns. Maybe in the past, pain made you chase. Maybe it made you beg for love. Maybe it made you send too many words to someone who gave too little care. Maybe it made you shut down, harden, or blame yourself. But now you are learning a new way. Pain comes, and instead of running away from yourself, you come closer. You breathe with kindness. You speak to yourself with love. You remind yourself, I do not have to react right now. I do not have to decide everything right now. I do not have to answer from this wounded place. I can let peace return first. This is how you become free, not by never being hurt again, but by no longer becoming lost when hurt arrives. Calmness also protects your words. Words spoken in pain can create wounds you never meant to create. They can turn a painful moment into a longer battle. They can pull you into a cycle where both people are reacting, defending, accusing, and no one is truly listening. But when you hold your words until peace returns, your words become cleaner. They carry truth without cruelty. They carry boundaries without hatred. They carry self-respect without the need to attack. You may still speak. You may still be honest. You may still say, "This hurt me, and I cannot continue like this." But your words will come from the part of you that wants healing, not from the part of you that wants to wound back. That difference changes everything. My dear, there is great power in being able to say, "I will answer when I am calm. I will decide when I am clear. I will speak when my words can honor both my truth and my peace." This is not avoidance. This is wisdom. Not every moment needs an immediate response. Not every message needs an instant answer. Not every accusation needs your defense. Not every hurt needs your reaction. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is return to yourself first. Let your body settle. Let your heart feel held. Let your mind stop spinning. Then choose. A choice made from peace will bless your future. A choice made from panic may only repeat the pain. Staying calm is a form of self-love because it says, "I care about what happens inside me." It says, "I will not let another person's lack of peace become my inner home." It says, "I will not punish my body with stress because someone else acted from their wounds." It says, "I will protect the soft and sacred place within me." And this kind of self-love is powerful. It is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot heal in a body that feels constantly attacked by your own thoughts. You cannot hear divine guidance when your mind is filled with noise. You cannot receive love from life when your heart is clenched around the pain of one person. Calmness opens the hand. Calmness opens the chest. Calmness opens the path forward. There is a quiet dignity in calmness. It does not beg. It does not chase. It does not lower itself to match the energy of disrespect. It stands in truth. It says, "I know what I felt. I know what I deserve. I know what I will no longer carry." This dignity is not pride. It is not ego. It is the soul remembering its own value. When you move from dignity, you no longer need to prove that you are worthy. You live from the knowing that you are. You no longer need to force someone to treat you right. You decide whether their behavior belongs in your life. You no longer need to make pain dramatic so someone will finally care. You care for yourself first, and that becomes enough to begin your healing. Let this affirmation become a soft home inside you. I choose peace before I react. I choose wisdom before I speak. I choose self-respect before I chase. I choose healing before I hold on to pain. Let those words move through your heart slowly. Let them remind you that you are not powerless. You have choice. You have breath. You have awareness. You have the ability to return to yourself. No one can take that from you. Pain may visit, but peace can lead. Hurt may rise, but love can answer. The moment you choose calm, you begin to show yourself that you are safe in your own care, and that safety becomes the ground where healing can grow. So when they hurt you, stay calm, not because you are weak, but because you are too wise to give pain the steering wheel. Stay calm because you are learning that your peace is worth more than the temporary comfort of reacting. Stay calm because you are no longer available for the kind of suffering that keeps you tied to what wounded you. Stay calm because your heart deserves a gentle place to heal. Stay calm because life is still holding you even when someone else could not. Stay calm because your future self will thank you for choosing dignity in the moment when pain wanted control. Stay calm because healing begins when you choose peace. When someone hurts you, the first pull inside your body may be to react. You may want to answer quickly. You may want to explain every feeling, defend every wound, correct every lie, and make them understand exactly what they did to you. You may want to send the message while your hands are shaking. You may want to speak while your heart is still burning. You may want to show them that you are not weak, not blind, not someone they can treat with carelessness and still walk away untouched. That feeling is human. It is natural to want the pain to be seen. It is natural to want your heart to be understood. But my love, reacting from the wound often keeps you tied to the very pain you are trying to escape. It can feel powerful for a moment, but later it can leave you feeling emptier, more tired, and more connected to the hurt than before. Reaction is the mind's attempt to take back control. When something hurts deeply, the mind says, "Do something now. Say something now. Fix this now. Get an answer now. Make them see it now." But pain does not always know the best path. Pain wants relief. Peace wants healing. These are not always the same. Relief may come from sending the long message, saying the sharp words, checking again, asking again, proving again. But healing often comes from stepping back and choosing not to feed the fire. Healing comes from saying, "I do not need to act from this storm. I can wait until I return to myself. I can let my heart breathe before I choose my next step." This is not avoidance. This is wisdom. A choice made while your heart is shaking may not honor the life you are trying to build. Every time you react from pain, you give the pain a longer life. It moves from the event into your body again. It moves into your words. It moves into the next conversation. It moves into your sleep, your morning, your appetite, your energy. What happened may have lasted a few moments, but reaction can keep it alive for days, weeks, or even longer. The memory keeps returning because the mind has been trained to treat it like something unfinished. It says, go back, replay it, find another way to win, find another way to be chosen, find another way to be heard. But sometimes there is no winning inside a wound. Sometimes the only victory is choosing to step out of the cycle. Sometimes peace begins when you stop trying to make pain give you a better ending. You may think that reacting will make the other person understand you. Sometimes it might open a small door. But many times, when someone has already acted without care, your reaction only gives them more to misunderstand. They may focus on your anger instead of their behavior. They may call you dramatic instead of honest. They may talk about your tone instead of the wound. They may use your pain as proof that you are the problem, and that can hurt even more. This is why calmness protects you. It does not mean you never speak. It means you speak when your words are no longer bleeding. It means you wait until you can say what is true without handing them the power to turn your pain into another argument. There is a difference between expressing and reacting. Expressing comes from truth. Reacting comes from injury. Expressing says, "This hurt me and I need to honor myself." Reacting says, "I need you to feel what I feel right now." Expressing can be calm, firm, and clear. Reacting can be loud, rushed, and full of fear. Expressing creates a boundary. Reacting often creates another attachment. When you express from peace, you are free even if they do not agree. When you react from pain, you may feel trapped until they answer the way you want. My dear, your freedom cannot depend on the response of someone who may not have the heart, awareness, or maturity to meet you with care. Your freedom must begin inside you. Overthinking is also a form of reaction. It may not look loud on the outside, but inside it is a storm. You may be lying still, saying nothing, while your mind is running through every sentence, every look, every change in their voice, every moment that felt like a warning. You may keep asking yourself what you missed, what you did wrong, what you should have done, what you could still do to make the pain stop. But overthinking does not heal the wound. It often makes the wound feel bigger. It takes one painful moment and builds a whole world around it. It turns uncertainty into fear. It turns hurt into self-blame. It turns silence into a story that attacks your worth. This is why you must gently bring your mind back to peace. When the mind starts replaying, speak to it with kindness. Do not fight it. Do not hate it. The mind is trying to protect you in the only way it knows. It thinks that if it studies the pain enough, it can keep you from being hurt again. But protection is not the same as peace. You can thank your mind and still choose a new direction. You can say, "I understand that you are trying to help me, but we are not going to live inside this memory today. We are not going to keep asking why until our body feels sick. We are going to return to the breath. We are going to return to the heart. We are going to return to the truth. I am safe now. I am here now. I can choose peace now. The more you replay what happened, the more your body believes it is happening again. Your chest tightens, your stomach turns, your throat closes, your shoulders rise, your heart races. The body does not always know the difference between the moment and the memory. It listens to the mind and responds as if the pain is present. This is why choosing peace is not only spiritual, it is an act of kindness toward your body. You are telling your body, the danger is not here in this moment. We can soften, we can breathe, we can rest. We can stop punishing ourselves with the same memory. Your body has carried enough. Let your peace become a healing message to every part of you. Revenge is another chain that keeps you tied to pain. The wounded heart may say, I want them to feel what they made me feel. I want them to regret it. I want them to see me happy and suffer for losing me. Again, this feeling is human, but do not make revenge your home. Revenge keeps your energy facing backward. It keeps your life centered around the person who hurt you. It may look like power, but it still gives them a place inside your heart. True freedom is not making them suffer. True freedom is when they no longer control the weather inside you. True freedom is when your joy is no longer a message to them, but a gift to yourself. True freedom is when you heal, not to prove a point, but because your soul deserves peace. Sometimes you may want to explain yourself again and again because you think, if I just say it the right way, they will understand. If I use the right words, they will finally care. If I show them how deeply I hurt, they will become gentle. But love, the right words, cannot open a closed heart. The right explanation cannot create compassion where someone is committed to defending themselves. You can speak with beauty, honesty, and deep feeling, and still not be received by someone who does not want to see clearly. This does not mean your words are weak. It means their heart may not be ready. There is no peace in pouring your soul into a cup that keeps turning away. Save some love for yourself. Save some breath for healing. Save some energy for the life that is still waiting for you. A painful attachment can form when you keep trying to get the hurt person to become the healing person. You keep going back to the source of pain, hoping it will become the source of comfort. You want the same person who broke your peace to bring your peace back. Sometimes that can happen if someone truly grows, owns their actions, and meets you with honesty. But often, waiting for that keeps you stuck. You keep checking for signs. You keep reading between the lines. You keep measuring their words against your hope. And every time they do not show up the way your heart needs, the wound opens again. My dear, your healing cannot wait at the door of someone else's change. Your healing begins when you stop asking the person who hurt you to become the only one who can soothe you. When you react, you may feel connected to them, even through anger. This is why pain can become addictive. Not because you enjoy suffering, but because suffering still feels like a thread between you and the person. If you are thinking about them, arguing with them in your mind, checking what they are doing, hoping they notice your silence, hoping they feel your absence, then they are still living inside your energy. Peace cuts that thread gently. Peace says, I release the need to keep this connection alive through pain. I release the need to keep speaking to them inside my head. I release the need to make my healing depend on their regret. I call my energy back to me. I call my heart back to me. I call my life back to me. There is a quiet moment when you realize that reacting is not giving you what you hoped it would give. It is not giving you rest. It is not giving you clarity. It is not giving you love. It is only keeping the wound awake. That moment is not failure. It is awakening. It is the soul saying, there must be another way, and there is. The other way is peace, not fake peace, not forced peace, not pretending. Peace that begins with one honest breath. Peace that says, this hurts, but I will not make it worse by abandoning myself. Peace that says, I may want to react, but I choose to care for my future. Peace that says, my healing matters more than winning this moment. You are allowed to feel the fire without throwing it at someone else. You are allowed to feel the grief without turning it into self-hate. You are allowed to feel the anger without letting it make decisions for your life. Emotions are powerful, but they do not need to become your ruler. You can let them move through you like weather. Rain can fall without flooding the whole house. Wind can blow without tearing down the walls. Fire can warm without burning everything. This is the art of emotional healing. You make space for the feeling, but you do not become the feeling. You listen to it, but you do not hand it the pen to write your future. If you feel the urge to react, return to your body first. Feel your feet. Feel your chest. Feel the breath moving in and out. Let your body remind you that you are here, not trapped in the moment of hurt. Speak gently within yourself. I do not need to answer from pain. I do not need to prove my worth. I do not need to chase understanding. I can choose peace now. Let those words be a soft blanket around your nervous system. Let them slow the rush inside you. Let them create room between the pain and the action. In that room, your power returns. In that room, your wisdom can speak. One of the greatest signs of growth is when you can feel a strong reaction rising and still choose not to follow it. You notice the old pattern, but you do not obey it. You see the old doorway, but you do not walk through it. You feel the old urge to explain, beg, defend, or attack, but you choose a different path. This is how healing becomes real. Not in perfect geese, Moments when everything feels easy, but in the difficult moments when the old self asks to return and the new self says, "No, we are choosing peace now," that is a sacred victory. No one may see it. No one may clap for it. But your soul knows. Your body knows. Life knows. Do not worry if you have reacted before. Do not shame yourself for the times pain spoke louder than peace. You were doing what you knew how to do at the time. You were trying to protect your heart. You were trying to be heard. You were trying to survive the ache. But now you are learning a softer strength. You are learning that you do not have to make pain louder in order for it to be valid. You are learning that you can honor the wound without letting it run your life. You are learning that your silence can be peaceful, your words can be clear, and your boundaries can be loving. This is growth. Be proud of the part of you that is trying. Let this truth settle deeply. Reaction keeps the pain moving outward. Peace brings the energy back inward where healing can begin. Reaction asks, "How do I make them understand?" Peace asks, "How do I care for myself now?" Reaction asks, "How do I win this pain?" Peace asks, "How do I release this weight?" Reaction asks, "What will they think?" Peace asks, "What does my soul need?" When you begin asking the questions of peace, your life changes. You stop living around someone else's behavior. You start living from your own center. You stop chasing emotional justice from outside. You start building emotional safety inside. So when the urge to react comes, do not be afraid of it. See it as a signal. It is showing you where you are hurt. It is showing you where you need care. It is showing you where a boundary may be needed. But before you speak, before you move, before you decide, come back to peace. Let peace hold the wound. Let peace guide the words. Let peace choose the next step. Because when peace leads, even difficult decisions become cleaner. Even endings become softer. Even boundaries become holy. And slowly, the pain that once controlled you begins to lose its grip. Not because they changed, not because the past disappeared, but because you stopped feeding the wound with reaction and started feeding your spirit with love. When your heart is hurt, you may feel a strong need to know what to do right away. Should you answer? Should you leave? Should you forgive? Should you block? Should you wait? Should you speak? Should you walk away? Should you give another chance? The mind wants a clear answer because uncertainty feels painful. But my love, the first answer you need is not always about the other person. The first answer is peace. Before you decide what to do with them, decide how you will care for yourself. Before you choose the next step outside, return to steadiness inside. Peace must come before clarity, because a wounded heart can mistake fear for wisdom. A calm heart can see what is true. Pain creates urgency. It tells you that everything must to be solved now. It tells you that if you do not act immediately, you will lose something. You will lose them. You will lose control. You will lose your chance to be understood. But peace speaks differently. Peace says, what is meant for me will not require me to betray myself. Peace says, I do not need to rush while I am hurting. Peace says, a decision made in calmness will protect me more than a decision made in panic. When you choose peace first, you are not delaying your life. You are honoring it. You are giving yourself the gift of seeing clearly before you move. There are times when you may want an answer from the person who hurt you. You may want them to explain why they changed, why they lied, why they pulled away, why they spoke with such coldness, why they made you feel unwanted or unimportant. And yes, honest communication can be healing when both hearts are open. But sometimes the answer you receive will not bring peace. Sometimes it will create more questions. Sometimes it will confuse you more. Sometimes the person will explain from their own fear, pride, or denial. And if your peace depends on their answer, your heart may keep waiting outside a closed door. This is why the deeper answer must come from within. What do I know in my body? What does my peace tell me? What truth have I been avoiding because I wanted the answer to be different? When you return to peace, you begin to hear the quiet wisdom beneath your emotional noise. At first, it may be very soft. It may not shout. It may not come as a full plan. It may simply come as a feeling. This is not good for me. I need space. I need rest. I need to stop chasing. I need to speak honestly. I need to protect my heart. I need to let go. These inner messages often come when the body stops fighting and the mind stops spinning. Peace creates a clean room inside you where truth can enter. Without peace, truth can be hard to hear because fear is speaking too loudly. You do not have to forgive before you are ready. You do not have to reply before you are calm. You do not have to understand everything before you begin healing. You do not have to make a final decision while your heart still feels open and raw. There is kindness in giving yourself time. There is wisdom in not forcing your own heart to move faster than it can. Healing is not a race. Peace is not something you push yourself into. It is something you allow, breath by breath, thought by thought, choice by choice. And the first choice can be very simple. I will not decide from panic. I will not speak from fear. I will let peace return first. Many people stay stuck because they believe they need closure from the person who hurt them. But closure is not always a conversation. Sometimes closure is the moment you stop asking an unclear person to give you clarity. Sometimes closure is when you accept that their behavior already gave you information. Sometimes closure is when you stop waiting for them to say the perfect words and begin giving yourself the words you needed. I deserved honesty. I deserved care. I deserved respect. I deserved peace. I can move forward even if they never explain. I can heal even if they never admit what they did. I can be free even if they never give me the ending I wanted. Choosing peace before an answer means you are no longer letting confusion become your home. Confusion can be very powerful. It can keep you attached to a situation because the mind keeps searching for the missing piece. But often, confusion is what happens when your heart knows the truth and your hope is not ready to accept it. One part of you sees clearly. Another part of you still wants the story to change. Be gentle with that part. It is not foolish. It is grieving. It is letting go of what it wished could be real. But do not let hope pull you back into pain forever. Peace will help you hold both truths. Yes, I loved. Yes, I hoped. And yes, I must honor what is real now. There is a sacred strength in saying, I do not know the answer yet, but I choose peace while I wait for clarity. This releases the pressure to fix everything immediately. It allows your nervous system to settle. It allows your spirit to guide you slowly. You may not know today whether to stay or leave, speak or remain quiet, forgive or create distance. But you can know this. You will not abandon yourself. You will not keep hurting yourself to hold on to something uncertain. You will not ignore your body's truth. You will not silence your soul just to keep someone near. These are answers too. They may not solve every detail, but they return you to your own center. Peace also helps you separate love from attachment. Love can be calm. Attachment often feels anxious. Love can honor truth. Attachment often fears truth. Love can bless and release when something is harmful. Attachment keeps holding because it is afraid of emptiness. When you are hurt, attachment may say, do not let go, because who will you be without them? But peace says, you are still yourself. You are still whole. You are still held by life. You existed before this pain, and you will exist after it. You are not losing yourself by releasing what hurts you. You are finding yourself again. This is why peace must come first. It helps you know whether you are choosing from love or from fear of being alone. Sometimes the answer is not dramatic. Sometimes the answer is simply to rest, to stop reading the same words, to stop checking, to stop building stories, to give your body food, water, sleep, softness, and kindness. A tired body can make pain feel bigger. A hungry heart can mistake attention for love. A stressed mind can turn every silence into a threat. So before you decide the whole future, care for the present moment. Let the body calm. Let the heart slow down. Let the day become simple again. You may find that after rest, the answer that felt impossible becomes more natural. Peace often arrives quietly after you stop forcing clarity. When you choose peace first, you stop treating their reaction as the only important thing. You start asking how you are reacting to yourself. Are you being gentle with your heart? Are you speaking kindly inside your mind? Are you giving yourself the love you wanted from them? Are you protecting your energy? Are you letting yourself feel without shame? These questions bring the power back to you. You cannot control whether they become honest. You cannot control whether they understand. You cannot control whether they change. But you can control the way you hold your own heart now. That is where your freedom begins. Let this affirmation move through you slowly. I choose peace before I choose an answer. I choose calm before I choose a direction. I choose self-love before I choose what to do next. I trust that clarity will come when my heart is ready to receive it. These words are not meant to rush you, they are meant to support you. Let them create a soft place inside your chest. Let them remind you that you are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to step back from pressure. You are allowed to choose no response until peace returns. You are allowed to protect the sacred space where your healing is beginning. The answer you seek may come as a sudden knowing, or it may come slowly through repeated feelings, small signs, quiet realizations, and the way your body responds when you imagine different paths. Pay attention to peace. Peace is not always comfort. Sometimes peace comes with tears because you know what you must release. Sometimes peace comes with grief because the truth asks you to let go of a dream. But even then, peace has a clean feeling. It does not feel like panic. It does not feel like begging. It does not feel like shrinking. It feels steady, even when it is sad. It feels honest, even when it is hard. It feels like your soul is finally being listened to. Do not confuse chaos with passion. Do not confuse anxiety with love. Do not confuse being chosen sometimes with being cherished fully. A heart that is used to confusion may think peace is boring at first. It may be drawn to the high and low, the hot and cold, the coming and going, because that pattern feels familiar. But healing teaches you to trust calm love. Healing teaches you that peace is not emptiness. Peace is safety. Peace is room to breathe. Peace is not wondering every day where you stand. Peace is not begging for basic respect. Peace is not losing sleep over someone's unclear behavior. Peace is the ground where real love can grow. When someone hurts you, do not ask only, how do I get them back? Ask, how do I get myself back? Do not ask only, what are they thinking? Ask, what am I feeling? Do not ask only, will they change? Ask, what is this teaching me about what I need? These questions open the door to healing. They shift your energy from chasing to returning, from fear to awareness, from waiting to choosing. And as your energy returns to you, your answer becomes clearer. You may still love them, but you may no longer be willing to lose yourself for them. You may still care, but you may know that care does not require self-abandonment. You may still wish things were different, but you may finally accept what peace is showing you. The answer may be to speak. If so, let peace shape your words. Say what is true without begging. Say what hurt without attacking. Say what you need without apologizing for having needs. The answer may be to create distance. If so, let peace guide your steps. Do not leave to punish. Leave to heal. The answer may be to forgive internally while still choosing a boundary. If so, let peace remind you that forgiveness and access are not the same. The answer may be to do nothing for now. If so, let peace hold you in the waiting. There is no shame in taking time to become clear. There is only love in refusing to act from a wounded place. You may worry that if you choose peace, you will lose the chance to say everything. But what is meant to be spoken from truth will still be there when you are calm. And what disappears when peace arrives may not have needed to be said. Pain writes many speeches that the soul never needs to deliver. Anger prepares many arguments that healing later releases. Fear creates many questions that love gently dissolves. When peace returns, you may realize that your deepest need was never to explain everything. It was to feel safe, respected, and whole again. And those things begin with the way you treat yourself. Choosing peace before an answer is an act of faith. It says, I trust that I will know what to do when I am ready. I trust that life is guiding me even now. I trust that I do not need to force clarity from a place of panic. I trust that my heart can heal without every question being answered today. This faith does not deny pain. It holds pain with love. It says, yes, I am hurt, and yes, I am still guided. Yes, I am uncertain, and yes, I can still choose peace. Yes, I do not know the whole path, and yes, I can take the next gentle step. So let the answer wait until peace returns. Let the message wait until your heart is steady. Let the decision wait until your body no longer feels like it is fighting for survival. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to give yourself the love, care, and patience that the situation did not give you. And in that space, something beautiful happens. You stop looking at the pain as the one in charge. You remember that your soul is still here. Your wisdom is still here. Your future is still here. And when peace finally speaks, you will recognize it. It will not beg. It will not chase. It will not destroy. It will simply guide you toward what is honest, healthy, and healing. One of the most painful things that can happen after someone hurts you is that you begin to see yourself through their actions. If they ignored you, you may start to feel invisible. If they betrayed you, you may start to feel foolish. If they left, you may start to feel unwanted. If they lied, you may start to question your own judgment. If they treated you as if your feelings were too much, you may begin to believe that your heart is the problem. But my love, what someone did to you is not who you are. Their actions are not your identity. Their inability to love you well does not mean you are hard to love. Their lack of honesty does not mean you were wrong to trust. Their coldness does not mean your warmth was a mistake. You must be very careful about the story you build after pain. Pain will try to give you a new name. It may call you rejected. It may call you abandoned. It may call you not enough. It may call you broken, but those are not your true names. Those are the names pain uses when it wants to stay. Your true name is worthy. Your true name is whole. Your true name is loved by life. Your true name is learning. Your true name is healing. You may have been hurt, but you are not the hurt. You may have been disappointed, but you are not the disappointment. You may have been treated poorly, but you are not the poor treatment. You are the soul who is rising from it. When someone treats you without care, it can awaken old wounds. It may touch places inside you that were hurt long before this person arrived. This is why the pain may feel larger than the present moment. It may not only be about what they did. It may remind you of other times you felt unseen, unheard, chosen last, blamed, rejected, or left alone with your feelings. Be gentle with yourself if the wound feels bigger than the situation. Your heart may be carrying echoes. It may be saying, "This feels familiar. I have felt this before." But the beautiful truth is this: what is being touched is also being invited to heal. The pain has risen not to destroy you, but to show you the part of yourself that needs deeper love. Do not let their behavior become the final word over your worth. Some people will not know how to value you because they have not learned how to value what is real. Some people will be uncomfortable with your honesty because they are not honest with themselves. Some people will misunderstand your softness because they have only known defense. Some people will take your kindness because they do not know how to give from fullness. But none of this makes you less. A person's blindness does not remove the beauty of what they failed to see. If someone cannot see the moon does not become less bright. If someone cannot receive love, love does not become less sacred. If someone cannot honor you, you do not become less worthy of honor. It is time to take your identity back from the hands of anyone who handled it carelessly. You are not the message they did not answer. You are not the apology they never gave. You are not the choice they failed to make. You are not the respect they withheld. You are not the love they could not offer. You are not the ending they created. You are not the silence they left behind. You are so much more than their chapter in your life. You are the whole book. You are the pages already written and the pages still waiting. Do not let one painful chapter convince you that the whole story is sad. Life is still writing through you, and it can write beauty from even this. Your identity must be rooted in truth, not treatment. Treatment changes, people change, opinions change. Attention comes and goes, approval rises and falls, but truth remains. The truth is that you were born worthy. You did not become worthy when someone loved you, and you did not stop being worthy when someone hurt you. Your worth is not a gift another person gives and takes back. It is part of your being. It is in your breath. It is in your heart. It is in the fact that life continues to move through you. If you make another person's treatment the measure of your value, you will feel lost every time someone acts from their own wounds. But if you root your identity in truth, you can be hurt without being destroyed. Let your heart hear this clearly. Being hurt does not mean you were foolish. It means you were human. Trusting someone does not mean you were weak. It means you had hope. Loving deeply does not mean you were blind. It means your heart was open. Staying too long does not mean you have no strength. It means there was a part of you that wanted to believe in love. Now that part is learning. Do not shame it. Do not attack it. Hold it with tenderness. Say to yourself, I understand why I hoped. I understand why I stayed. I understand why I wanted this to become beautiful. And now I am learning to choose myself with the same devotion I once gave away. Their actions may have created pain, but your response can create healing. This is where your power returns. You cannot change what they did. You cannot rewrite their words. You cannot force them to become aware. But you can decide what their actions will mean inside your life. Will it mean that you are unlovable? Or will it mean that you are learning to stop accepting love that does not feel safe? Will it mean that you are broken? Or will it mean that you are being called into deeper self-respect? Will it mean that your heart should close forever? Or will it mean that your heart will now open with wisdom? The meaning you choose matters. It becomes the ground where your next life grows. There is a part of you that may still want them to confirm your worth. You may want them to come back and say, I see you now. I know what I lost. I understand your heart. You were good to me. You mattered. Those words may feel like they would heal everything. But my dear, do not wait for someone else to say the words your own soul is ready to hear from you. Tell yourself now, I see you. I know what you gave. I know how much you cared. I know you mattered. I know your heart was real. I know you deserved better. Let those words come from within. Let them reach the place that has been waiting for outside approval. The more you speak love to yourself, the less your identity depends on someone else's awakening. When you stop letting their actions define you, you begin to feel lighter. You no longer read every memory as proof against yourself. You no longer carry their choices like a label on your chest. You no longer walk through life asking, what was wrong with me? Instead, you begin asking, what is right for me now? What kind of love honors the person I am becoming? What kind of peace do I need? What kind of boundary protects my heart? What kind of future feels aligned with my worth? These questions open doors. They move you from shame into self-respect. They move you from pain into power. They move you from being defined by what happened to being guided by what you are learning. Your identity is not built by the people who could not love you well. It is built by the truth you choose to return to. Return to this truth. I am worthy of kindness. Return to this truth. I am allowed to have needs. Return to this truth. I do not have to earn respect by suffering. Return to this truth. I can love someone and still choose myself. Return to this truth. I am not too much for the right love. Return to this truth. I am healing, and I am proud of myself for trying. Each truth becomes a stone in the foundation of the new self you are building. Strong, soft, honest, peaceful, whole. Sometimes the person who hurt you becomes a mirror, but not in the way you think. They are not a mirror of your worth. They are a mirror of what still needs healing inside you. If their silence made you panic, perhaps there is a part of you that needs to feel safe even without constant reassurance. If their rejection made you hate yourself, perhaps there is a part of you that needs deeper self-love. If their inconsistency kept you attached, perhaps there is a part of you learning that love is not meant to feel like confusion. If their disrespect made you chase, perhaps there is a part of you learning to stand still in your own value. This is not blame. This is awareness. And awareness is the beginning of freedom. Do not build your identity around being the one who was hurt. Build it around being the one who healed. Do not build your identity around what they took. Build it around what you are reclaiming. Your peace, your voice, your body, your confidence, your joy, your trust in life, your ability to love yourself. The person who hurt you may have awakened pain, but they also awakened a deeper strength. They showed you where you needed to return to yourself. They showed you where your boundaries needed love. They showed you where your heart was asking to be chosen by you. This does not make the hurt right. It means your soul is wise enough to turn even pain into growth. There may be days when the old identity returns. You may wake up feeling unwanted again. You may hear an old thought that says, maybe I was not enough. Do not panic when this happens. Healing is not always straight. Some days you feel strong. Some days the wound speaks again. But every time it speaks, you have a chance to answer with love. When the thought says, I was not enough, answer, I have always been enough. When the thought says, I was easy to leave, answer, the right love will know how to stay with care. When the thought says, I was foolish, answer, I was learning. When the thought says, I am broken, answer, I am healing. This is how you rewrite the inner story, not with force, but with steady love. You are allowed to outgrow the version of yourself that accepted less because you did not know your worth. You are allowed to look back with compassion and say, I did the best I could with the love and awareness I had then. You are allowed to become someone who no longer chases what hurts. You are allowed to become someone who can walk away with peace. You are allowed to become someone who does not confuse longing with love. You are allowed to become someone who knows that being alone can be safer than being held by the wrong energy. This becoming is sacred. Do not rush it. Do not shame it. Let it unfold naturally. Your peace will grow when your identity becomes rooted in self-love. Self-love says, I will not call myself unworthy because someone else was unkind. Self-love says, I will not abandon myself because someone else left. Self-love says, I will not reject my heart because someone else did not know how to hold it. Self-love says, I will become the safe place I kept looking for in others. When you begin to live this way, your energy changes. You no longer move through life begging to be chosen. You begin choosing what is healthy, honest, and peaceful for you, and that choice becomes magnetic. It calls in better. It calls in truth. It calls in love that does not require you to disappear. Let this affirmation settle gently inside you. Their actions are not my identity. Their treatment is not my value. Their silence is not my answer. Their leaving is not my worth. I belong to myself now. I return to peace now. I remember who I am now. These words are a homecoming. Let them bring your energy back from every place where you left it. Bring it back from the memory. Bring it back from the unanswered question. Bring it back from the hope that kept waiting at their door. Bring it back from the old story that made you feel small. Let all of that energy return to your heart where it belongs. You are not here to be defined by the person who hurt you. You are here to remember the part of you that cannot be touched by someone else's behavior. There is a light in you that existed before they came. There is a wisdom in you that is rising now. There is a future waiting for you that is not built on this pain. You may not feel fully free yet, but every loving thought is opening the way. Every peaceful choice is loosening the chain. Every boundary is bringing you closer to yourself. Every moment of self-kindness is teaching your heart that it does not have to live under the name pain gave it. So stop letting their actions become your identity. Let them become information. Let them become a lesson. Let them become the moment you chose to come home to yourself. Let them become the doorway into deeper self-respect. Let them become the reason you finally stopped asking for love from places that only gave confusion. Let them become the ending of self-abandonment and the beginning of peace. You are not what they did. You are not what they failed to give. You are not the wound. You are the healing. You are the return. You are the love that remains after the pain begins to fade. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood parts of healing. Many people hear the word forgiveness and think it means pretending that nothing happened. They think it means opening the door again, trusting too quickly, smiling through pain, or telling the person who hurt them that everything is fine. But my love, that is not true forgiveness. Forgiveness is not saying the hurt was acceptable. Forgiveness is not giving someone permission to wound you again. Forgiveness is not forcing your heart to feel safe around someone who has not changed. Forgiveness begins much deeper than that. It begins as freedom inside you. It begins as the moment you decide that the pain will no longer live in your body as poison. You can forgive and still have boundaries. You can forgive and still choose distance. You can forgive and still say, "This relationship is no longer healthy for me." You can forgive and still refuse to return to the same place that broke your peace. Forgiveness does not always mean reunion. Sometimes forgiveness means release. It means you stop carrying the heavy stone of anger in your own hands. It means you stop letting the memory take your peace every morning and follow you into every night. It means you stop drinking bitterness and hoping it will somehow change the person who hurt you. Forgiveness is not first a gift to them. It is first mercy for your own heart. When someone hurts you deeply, a part of you may want to hold on to the anger because anger feels like protection. It feels strong. It feels like proof that what happened mattered. It feels like a wall between you and being hurt again. But if anger stays too long, it stops protecting you and starts imprisoning you. It keeps the person who hurt you alive inside your mind. It keeps the wound fresh. It keeps your body tense. It keeps your heart guarded even around people who never harmed you. This is why forgiveness matters. Not because the person deserves easy access to you, but because you deserve to live without carrying their actions inside your nervous system every day. Forgiveness does not mean you must understand why they did what they did. Sometimes people hurt others from wounds they have never faced. Sometimes they act from selfishness, fear, pride, immaturity, or pain. Sometimes they do not even know how much damage they caused because they are not ready to look honestly at themselves. But you do not need their full explanation to begin freeing yourself. You do not need the perfect apology to stop letting the wound rule your heart. You do not need their awareness in order to begin your own healing. Their growth belongs to them. Your freedom belongs to you. There may be a part of you that thinks, if I forgive, then they win. If I forgive, then my pain disappears from the record. If I forgive, then it means I was weak. But forgiveness is not losing. Forgiveness is taking your power back. Holding on to pain does not punish them. It punishes your own body. It keeps your mind working overtime. It keeps your heart tied to someone who may be living without any thought of what they caused. Forgiveness says, I will no longer let your actions decide how much peace I am allowed to have. I will no longer keep this pain alive just to prove that it was real. I know it was real. My heart knows. Life knows. And now I choose to heal. Forgiveness often begins with honesty. You cannot truly release what you keep pretending did not hurt. So let your heart tell the truth. It hurt when they lied. It hurt when they left. It hurt when they ignored your feelings. It hurt when they took your love for granted. It hurt when they made you feel replaceable. It hurt when they made you question yourself. Let the truth be seen inside you. But do not let the truth turn into a chain. Let it become a doorway. Say, yes, this hurt me, and yes, I am willing to begin releasing the hold it has on me. I am willing to stop carrying what belongs to yesterday. I am willing to let my heart breathe again. Sometimes forgiveness is not a single moment. It is a practice that happens many times. You may feel free today and heavy tomorrow. You may think you have released the pain, and then a memory returns. Do not judge yourself. Healing is not a straight road. The heart releases in layers. Sometimes it lets go of anger first, then grief, then shame, then the hope that things could have been different. Each layer needs kindness. Each layer needs patience. You are not failing because the pain returns. You are simply meeting another part of the wound that is ready to be loved. Every time it rises, you can choose again. I release this. I bless myself with peace. I do not need to live in this pain anymore. There is also a difference between forgiving and trusting. Forgiveness can happen inside your own heart. Trust requires evidence over time. Forgiveness is your inner release. Trust is rebuilt through changed behavior, honesty, care, and consistency. Do not confuse the two. You can forgive someone and still not trust them with your heart again. You can release the anger and still remember the lesson. You can wish them peace and still know they are not safe for your life. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom. A peaceful heart can still have clear eyes. A loving heart can still have strong boundaries. A forgiving heart does not become careless. It becomes free and wise. If you are struggling to forgive, do not force yourself. Forced forgiveness can become another form of self-abandonment. It can make the wounded part of you feel unseen. Instead, begin with willingness. You do not have to say, I forgive completely, if that does not feel true. You can say, I am willing to move toward freedom. I am willing to stop feeding this pain. I am willing to let life help me release what I cannot release alone. Willingness opens a gentle door. It does not demand that you walk through it all at once. It simply lets light enter the room. Think of forgiveness like loosening your grip. At first, your hands may be tight around the memory. You may feel that if you let go, you are losing something important. But slowly, your spirit begins to understand. You are not letting go of your truth. You are letting go of the suffering attached to it. You are not saying it did not matter. You are saying your future matters too. You are not erasing what happened. You are choosing not to let what happened erase you. This is sacred. This is powerful. This is the way a heart begins to return to life. Forgiveness also means forgiving yourself. This may be the part you need most. Forgive yourself for staying longer than you now wish you had. Forgive yourself for trusting them. Forgive yourself for missing the signs. Forgive yourself for hoping. Forgive yourself for reacting from pain. Forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now. You were not foolish. You were learning. You were loving with the tools you had. You were trying to believe in something good. Now you have more wisdom. Let that wisdom guide you, but do not let it become a weapon against your past self. The past version of you needs compassion, not punishment. Say gently to yourself, I forgive myself for the ways I abandoned my own peace. I forgive myself for trying to earn love. I forgive myself for forgetting my worth. I forgive myself for carrying pain that was never mine to carry. Let these words come softly. Let them reach the tired places inside you. There may be tears. Let them be. Tears are not weakness. They are the heart washing itself. They are proof that something frozen is beginning to move. You do not need to stop them. You do not need to explain them. Let your body release what your heart has held for too long. The beauty of forgiveness is that it creates space. Space for peace. Space for joy. Space for better love. Space for your own life to return. When your heart is full of resentment, there is little room for new blessings to enter. But as you release, you begin to feel lighter. The same memory may come, but it no longer cuts as deeply. The same name may appear, but your body no longer tightens the same way. The same past may exist, but it no longer feels like your home. This is how you know healing is happening. Not because you forget, but because the memory no longer owns you. Let this truth become steady inside you. I can forgive without returning. I can release without approving. I can be kind without being available. I can wish peace without giving access. I can let go and still honor what I learned. These words protect your heart from confusion. Forgiveness is not a doorway back into harm. It is a doorway forward into peace. You are not required to keep proving your kindness by staying close to what wounded you. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is release with grace and walk toward your own healing. So if they hurt you, let forgiveness begin as freedom. Let it begin not with them, but with you. Let it begin as a soft decision inside your heart. I will not carry this forever. I will not let this pain make me bitter. I will not let this wound close my heart to life. I will learn. I will grow. I will protect my peace. I will release what keeps hurting me. And when you choose this, even in a small way, something inside you opens. The chain loosens. The breath deepens. The heart remembers that it was made for more than pain. It was made for love, peace, wisdom, and freedom. Peace is not only a feeling. Peace is protection. It is a loving guard around your mind, your heart, your body, and your spirit. When someone hurts you, your energy can become scattered. Part of it stays in the memory. Part of it waits for an apology. Part of it watches for signs. Part of it keeps trying to understand. part of it keeps wondering whether they care, whether they regret it, whether they miss you, whether they know what they did. And after a while, you may feel tired without knowing why. This is because your energy has been living in too many places outside of you. Peace calls that energy home. You do not need to keep giving your inner life to the person who hurt you. You do not need to let them live rent-free in your thoughts. You do not need to begin every morning with their name in your mind or end every night with their memory in your chest. Your energy is sacred. It is the life force that helps you create, love, work, rest, dream, and heal. When you give too much of it to pain, there is less left for your own becoming. Peace says, come back. Come back from the replay. Come back from the waiting. Come back from the silent argument inside your head. Come back to your breath. Come back to your body. Come back to your own life. Protecting your energy does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming clear. It means knowing what helps you heal and what keeps the wound open. It means noticing what happens inside you after you read a message, see a post, hear their name, or remember a moment. Does your body soften or tighten? Does your mind become calm or restless? Does your heart feel respected or confused? Your body is always speaking. Your peace is always giving you information. Listen to it. Sometimes the soul whispers through discomfort. Sometimes the body says no before the mouth knows how. Sometimes your tiredness is not weakness. It is a sign that you have been giving your energy to something that no longer feeds your spirit. There are people, conversations, memories, and places that may not be good for your healing right now. This does not mean they are evil. It means your heart needs care. A wound needs clean space to heal. If you keep touching it, opening it, and checking it, healing takes longer. The same is true for emotional wounds. If you keep returning to the same painful exchange, the same confusing connection, the same empty hope, your heart cannot rest. Peace may ask you to step back. Peace may ask you to speak less. Peace may ask you to stop looking for updates. Peace may ask you to stop explaining yourself to someone who has shown they are not listening. This is not punishment. This is protection. You are allowed to choose distance without guilt. You are allowed to stop answering every message. You are allowed to take time before you respond. You are allowed to protect your sleep, your appetite, your calm, and your joy. You are allowed to say, "This is too heavy for me right now." You are allowed to say, "I need space." You are allowed to say nothing at all when silence is what keeps you safe. Many people feel guilty when they protect their energy because they have been taught that love means endless availability. But love without boundaries becomes self-neglect. Kindness without self-respect becomes exhaustion. Peace teaches you that you can have a loving heart and still choose what is healthy for you. Let peace become the gatekeeper of your life. Before you let something enter your mind, ask, does this bring me closer to healing or deeper into pain? Before you answer from guilt, ask, am I choosing this from love or fear? Before you return to a person, ask, has anything truly changed, or am I being pulled by loneliness? Before you reopen a conversation, ask, is my heart steady enough for this? These questions are not meant to make you afraid. They are meant to help you live with awareness. When peace becomes your guide, you stop moving only from emotion. You begin moving from wisdom. Sometimes protecting your energy means letting go of the need to be understood by everyone. This can be hard. The heart wants fairness. It wants people to know the truth. It wants the full story to be seen. But there is a kind of peace that arrives when you stop trying to manage what other people believe. Some people will misunderstand you because it serves their version of the story. Some people will only see what they are ready to see. Some people will not know how much you tried, how much you gave, how much you cried, or how much you held back just to keep peace. But life knows, your heart knows, and that can be enough. You do not need to spend your energy correcting every false picture. Use that energy to rebuild your inner home. Protecting your energy also means being careful with what you keep feeding your mind. If you keep feeding your mind memories of hurt, it will grow more hurt. If you keep feeding your mind fear, it will grow more fear. If you keep feeding your mind self-blame, it will grow more shame. But if you feed your mind peace, kindness, truth, and self-respect, something new begins to grow. Your inner world becomes softer. Your thoughts become less cruel. Your body begins to trust you again. This is why the words you speak to yourself matter so much. Your own voice can either reopen the wound or begin to heal it. Say to yourself, I protect my peace because my peace protects me. I protect my energy because my energy is sacred. I protect my heart because my heart deserves care. Let these words become part of your inner language. You do not have to say them loudly. Let them live quietly inside you. Let them guide your choices. Let them remind you that you are not required to keep walking into pain just because your heart once loved someone. Love does not ask you to abandon yourself. Love does not ask you to become empty. Love does not ask you to keep bleeding in order to prove that you care. There is great strength in not reacting to every pull. A memory may call you back, but you do not have to follow it. A message may appear, but you do not have to answer immediately. A wave of loneliness may rise, but you do not have to return to what hurts just to avoid feeling alone. A fear may whisper that you will never find better, but you do not have to believe it. Peace gives you the power to stay with yourself through discomfort. It says, I can feel lonely and still choose what is healthy. I can miss them and still protect myself. I can care and still not go back. I can love from a distance and still choose my own peace. Your energy grows stronger when you stop leaking it into places that do not honor you. You may begin to notice small changes. Your body feels lighter. Your sleep becomes softer. Your thoughts are not as loud. You begin to care about your own day again. You begin to notice the sun, the food, the quiet, the people who treat you with kindness. You begin to remember that life is larger than the person who hurt you. This is not forgetting. This is returning. This is your spirit taking up space in your own life again. Peace may also ask you to create a new inner boundary with the past. The past may come to your mind, but you can choose not to move into it fully. You can say, I remember, but I do not live there now. I learned, but I do not belong there now. I was hurt, but I am healing now. This simple inner boundary is powerful. It reminds your mind that the memory is not your home. The past is a place you visited. It is not the place you must sleep every night. Your soul is asking to move forward, gently, without force, without denial, but with love. Protecting your energy means choosing what you give your attention to. Attention is life. What you keep looking at begins to grow inside you. If you keep looking at the wound, the wound becomes your whole world. If you begin looking at healing, healing becomes possible. This does not mean you ignore the pain. It means you do not worship it. You do not make it the center of your identity. You say, yes, I was hurt, and now I will also look toward peace. I will look toward self-love. I will look toward the future. I will look toward the part of me that still wants to live with an open heart. Sometimes peace protects your energy by helping you speak one clear truth instead of many emotional explanations. You do not always need to explain every layer of your pain. You do not need to convince someone that your boundary is valid. You do not need to write a full history of your hurt just to justify stepping back. A simple truth can be enough. This is not healthy for me. I need space. I am choosing peace. I cannot continue in this pattern. These words are not harsh when they come from self-respect. They are honest. They are clean. They do not attack. They simply protect. Your peace is a garden. Not everyone should walk through it. Not every thought should be planted there. Not every memory should be watered. Not every person should have access to its softest places. You are allowed to tend this garden with care. You are allowed to pull out the weeds of self-blame. You are allowed to close the gate to confusion. You are allowed to plant new seeds of worth, calm, and trust. And as you do, your inner life becomes beautiful again. Slowly, gently, naturally, peace begins to bloom where pain once lived. Let this be your quiet decision. I will not let what hurt me keep feeding on my energy. I will not keep giving my life force to someone else's choices. I will protect my mind. I will protect my heart. I will protect my body. I will protect my future. I can be loving and still be wise. I can be peaceful and still be firm. I can be kind and still choose distance. I can heal without explaining my healing to everyone. These words bring you back into your own hands, and that is where you belong. After someone hurts you, it is easy to become focused on them. What they did, what they meant, what they feel, what they might do next, whether they miss you, whether they regret it, whether they will change. Your mind can become a room filled with their presence, while your own needs wait outside the door. But healing begins when you return to yourself. It begins when you gently turn your attention away from the person who hurt you and back toward the heart within you that needs care. It begins when you stop asking only, "Why did they do this?" and begin asking, "What do I need now?" Returning to yourself is a sacred act. It means you stop leaving your energy in someone else's hands. It means you stop waiting for another person to decide whether you are worthy of peace. It means you begin to become the loving presence you were hoping to receive. If you needed comfort, you start offering comfort to yourself. If you needed honesty, you start being honest with yourself. If you needed care, you start treating your heart with care. If you needed protection, you start building boundaries that protect your peace. This is not because you no longer need people. It is because you are learning not to abandon yourself while loving them. Ask yourself gently, where did I leave myself? Did I leave myself in the moment I ignored my own discomfort? Did I leave myself when I accepted less than I needed? Did I leave myself when I kept explaining pain to someone who kept repeating it? Did I leave myself when I made their mood more important than my peace? These questions are not for shame. They are for return. Every honest answer is a doorway back home. You are not blaming yourself. You are gathering yourself. You are saying, I see where I left my own side, and now I am coming back. There is a part of you that may feel tired from chasing answers, chasing closure, chasing attention, chasing the version of someone that only appeared sometimes, chasing the moment when everything would finally feel safe. Let that part rest now. You do not have to chase healing. You do not have to chase love. You do not have to chase peace. You return to them by returning to yourself. Your heart has been waiting for your own attention. Your body has been waiting for your own gentleness. Your spirit has been waiting for you to stop looking outward and begin listening inward. Returning to yourself may feel quiet at first. It may not feel dramatic. It may look like eating properly after days of sadness. It may look like sleeping without checking for a message. It may look like taking care of your room, your body, your breath, your thoughts. It may look like choosing not to reread the words that hurt you. It may look like placing your hand over your heart and saying, I am here with you now. These things may seem small, but they are not small to the wounded heart. They are signs of safety. They teach your inner self that you can be trusted again. When you return to yourself, you begin to ask new questions. What brings me peace? What makes my body feel safe? What kind of love do I want to live around? What patterns am I ready to release? What boundaries would help me heal? What thoughts am I feeding every day? What would I say to myself if I truly believed I was worthy? These questions are gentle keys. They open the locked rooms inside you. They guide you away from obsession and toward self-connection. They remind you that your life is not only about what happened, it is also about what can now be rebuilt. Your heart needs your kindness more than your criticism. Do not speak to yourself like the person who hurt you. Do not continue their coldness inside your own mind. Do not use their behavior as a reason to attack yourself. You need softness now. You need words that hold you. Say, I am proud of myself for surviving this. I am proud of myself for wanting peace. I am proud of myself for learning. I am proud of myself, for choosing healing, even when it is hard. These words are not empty. They are medicine. They help rebuild the trust between you and your own heart. Returning to yourself also means letting your body become part of the healing. Pain is not only in the mind. It lives in the chest, the stomach, the throat, the shoulders, the breath. When you have been hurt, your body may feel like it is waiting for the next wound. It may stay tense, alert, guarded. Speak to your body with love. Tell it, we are safe now. We do not have to keep holding this. We can soften. We can rest. We can let the past move through us without becoming trapped inside us. Let your body know that you are no longer going to use thoughts to keep reopening the wound. Let your peace become physical. Let your calm become something your body can feel. There is a beautiful moment in healing when you realize you are thinking less about what they did and more about who you are becoming. You begin to feel curious about your own life again. You begin to remember your dreams. You begin to notice the parts of you that were quiet while you were in pain. You begin to feel small signs of joy return. Maybe a song feels good again. Maybe the morning feels softer. Maybe your own reflection does not look like someone who lost, but someone who is returning. This is healing. It does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes like light entering slowly through a window. You may still miss them. Returning to yourself does not mean your feelings disappear. It means your feelings no longer control the direction of your life. You can miss someone and still know they are not healthy for you. You can love someone and still know you need distance. You can remember good moments and still honor the truth of the pain. This is maturity. This is healing. This is the heart becoming strong enough to hold love and truth at the same time. You do not need to hate someone to move forward. You only need to love yourself enough to stop living in what hurts. Let your energy come home from all the places it has been waiting. Come home from their silence. Come home from their social life. Come home from the old messages. Come home from the future you imagined. Come home from the question of why. Come home from the hope that they will suddenly become who you needed. Come home from the belief that your worth depends on being chosen. Come home to your own heart. Come home to the quiet truth that you are still here, still loved by life, still able to begin again. Self-love is the foundation of this return. Not the kind of self-love that is only words, but the kind that becomes action. Self-love says, I will not keep touching what hurts me. Self-love says, I will let myself rest. Self-love says, I will stop calling myself foolish for having feelings. Self-love says, I will choose people who bring peace, not confusion. Self-love says, I will protect the part of me that still believes in love. Self-love says, I will know that let this pain make me hard. I will let it make me wiser. This kind of self-love changes the way you live. It changes what you accept. It changes what you reach for. It changes what you release. When you return to yourself, you begin to understand that healing is not about becoming the person you were before the pain. It is about becoming more deeply connected to who you truly are. The old version of you may have ignored red flags, chased unclear love, or made excuses for hurtful behavior. The new version of you is learning to listen sooner. The new version of you is learning that peace is not too much to ask for. The new version of you is learning that love should not require self-abandonment. This growth is sacred. Do not rush it. Let it unfold with kindness. Say gently within yourself, I am returning to me. I am returning to my peace. I am returning to my worth. I am returning to my body. I am returning to my future. Let these words become a path. Every time your mind runs back to the person who hurt you, guide it lovingly home. Not with anger, not with pressure. Simply say, we are coming back now. We are not living there anymore. We are choosing ourselves now. This is how you heal the habit of leaving yourself. You practice returning again and again until home becomes familiar. The love you wanted from them may have awakened the love you now need to give yourself. The care you waited for may have shown you where you need to care for yourself more deeply. The apology you never received may have shown you how much you need to stop blaming yourself. The respect they did not offer may have shown you the boundaries you must now build. Pain can become a teacher when you stop letting it be your master. It can show you where your soul is asking to grow. It can show you what you are no longer available for. It can show you the kind of peace you are ready to protect. Returning to yourself is not the end of love. It is the beginning of healthier love. Because when you know how to stay with yourself, you no longer beg others to complete you. When you know your own worth, you no longer accept crumbs and call them a meal. When you honor your own peace, you no longer confuse chaos with connection. You become more available for real love, because you are no longer using love as a way to escape yourself. You are already home within. From that place, love becomes a blessing, not a rescue. So let healing begin here, not in their apology, not in their regret, not in their return. Here, inside your own heart. Let the first healing be the way you speak to yourself. Let the next healing be the boundary you honor. Let the next healing be the rest you allow. Let the next healing be the memory you release. Let the next healing be the peaceful choice you make when the old pattern calls. Little by little, your life will begin to feel like yours again. And one day, you will realize that you are no longer waiting for them to give you peace. You became peaceful yourself. They may have hurt you, but peace will heal you. Let that truth enter the quiet places of your heart. They may have caused confusion, but peace will bring clarity. They may have made you feel small, but peace will remind you of your worth. They may have left you with questions, but peace will teach you how to live without every answer. They may have broken your trust, but peace will help you trust yourself again. What they did was painful, but it is not more powerful than the healing that is rising inside you now. You do not have to become cold because someone was careless with your heart. You do not have to harden your spirit because someone did not know how to love you well. You do not have to turn your softness into stone. Your softness is sacred. Your kindness is still beautiful. Your ability to love is still a gift. The lesson is not to stop being loving. The lesson is to love with wisdom. The lesson is to keep your heart open to life while closing the door to what harms you. The lesson is to remain gentle, but no longer unprotected. This is the balance of healing. Soft heart, clear boundaries, open spirit. Wise choices. Peace does not erase what happened, but it changes what happens next inside you. Without peace, the past keeps repeating in your mind. With peace, the past becomes a teacher instead of a prison. Without peace, their actions become your identity. With peace, their actions become information. Without peace, you chase closure from outside. With peace, you create closure within. Without peace, your energy stays attached to the wound. With peace, your energy returns to your future. This is why peace is not passive. Peace is active healing. It is the choice to stop giving yesterday the power to control today. There is a part of you that may wonder if you will ever feel light again. You will, not all at once perhaps, not in the exact way you expect, but slowly the heaviness will begin to loosen. The memory will lose its sharpness. The silence will stop feeling like a punishment. The unanswered questions will not pull as strongly. Your breath will become easier. Your mornings will feel less heavy. Your heart will begin to trust small joys again. Healing often happens quietly. It does not always announce itself. Sometimes it appears as a moment when you realize you have not thought about the pain for a while. Sometimes it appears as a gentle smile that returns without effort. Sometimes it appears as the simple feeling that you are going to be okay. Peace will heal you by bringing you back to the present moment. Pain tries to keep you in the past. Fear tries to pull you into the future. But peace says, come here. Come into this moment. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Feel the ground beneath you. Right now, you are alive. Right now, you are safe with yourself. Right now, you can choose one kind thought. Right now, you can loosen your grip on the memory. Right now, you can begin again. The present moment is where your power lives, in what they did, not in what they may do, not in what should have happened. Here, now. This is where healing begins. You may not be able to control whether they understand, but you can understand yourself. You may not be able to control whether they apologize, but you can stop blaming yourself. You may not be able to control whether they regret losing you, but you can stop losing yourself. You may not be able to control whether they change, but you can change how much access pain has to your heart. This is power, quiet power, sacred power. The kind of power that does not need to be seen by others to be real. The kind of power that changes your inner world first and then slowly changes your outer life. Let peace speak to the places that still hurt. To the part of you that feels rejected, peace says you are chosen by life. To the part of you that feels foolish, peace says you were learning. To the part of you that feels angry, peace says your feelings are valid and you can still be free. To the part of you that feels afraid, peace says you are safe to move forward slowly. To the part of you that wants to close forever, peace says you can protect yourself without closing your heart to everything good. Let peace become the voice you hear louder than the wound. There is a healing path before you, and it does not require you to rush. It does not require you to be perfect. It does not require you to wake up tomorrow with no sadness. It only asks you to keep choosing yourself gently. Choose yourself when the memory returns. Choose yourself when the urge to react rises. Choose yourself when loneliness tries to pull you back into pain. Choose yourself when your mind says you are not enough. Choose yourself when your heart feels tired. Choosing yourself is not rejection of others. It is the return to your own sacred life. What happened may have shown you where you need deeper boundaries. It may have shown you where you ignored your own discomfort. It may have shown you where you gave too much. It may have shown you where you confused love with waiting, hope with denial, or kindness with self-sacrifice. These lessons can feel painful, but they are not here to shame you. They are here to help you live more honestly. They are here to bring you into a love that includes you. They are here to help you stop abandoning yourself for connection. They are here to help you trust the quiet wisdom inside your own body. Peace will not always feel like happiness at first. Sometimes peace feels like grief without chaos. Sometimes peace feels like missing someone but not going back. Sometimes peace feels like crying and still knowing you made the right choice. Sometimes peace feels like silence after a long storm. Do not reject peace because it does not feel joyful immediately. Peace is the ground where joy will grow later. At first, it may simply feel like less noise, less chasing, less explaining, less fear. That is enough. Let peace begin there. Your healing will also teach you that not everyone who hurts you is meant to receive the new version of you. Some people are part of your lesson, not your destination. Some people awaken your growth but cannot walk with you into the life that growth creates. Some people show you what you no longer need to accept. Some people teach you to choose your own heart. Bless the lesson if you can, but do not confuse the lesson with home. Home is where your spirit feels safe. Home is where your truth is honored. Home is where love does not require you to disappear. If your heart still feels attached, be gentle. Attachment loosens through love, not self-attack. You do not need to hate them to release them. You do not need to erase every memory. You do not need to deny that some moments were beautiful. You can say, there was good and there was pain. I honor what was good and I release what was harmful. I take the love I gave and I bring it back to myself. I take the hope I placed in them and I place it back into my own life. I take the energy I spent waiting and I use it to heal. This is how attachment becomes freedom. There is a future version of you who is already at peace with this. A version of you who no longer feels tight when the memory comes. A version of you who understands why you had to choose yourself. A version of you who smiles again without guilt. A version of you who loves again without fear controlling the heart. A version of you who looks back and says, that hurt me, but it also woke me up. It taught me to stop begging for love that felt unsafe. It taught me to stop calling confusion destiny. It taught me to come home to myself. That version of you is not far away. Every peaceful choice brings you closer. Let this affirmation move through you now. They hurt me, but I choose peace. They disappointed me, but I choose healing. They failed to see my worth, but I choose to remember it. They may have left pain behind, but I choose to leave love within myself. I am safe to release. I am safe to grow. I am safe to begin again. These words are seeds. Let them take root in your heart. Let them become stronger than the old story. Let them remind you that your spirit is not trapped in what happened. Your spirit is alive, learning, opening, and returning to peace. You are not the same person who first felt the wound. You are already changing. Every time you choose not to react, you change. Every time you speak kindly to yourself, you change. Every time you protect your energy, you change. Every time you stop using their actions as proof against your worth, you change. Every time you choose peace, you are building a new inner life. And this new inner life will become the foundation for everything that comes next. Healthier love, stronger boundaries, softer mornings, deeper trust, a calmer heart, a wiser soul. They may have hurt you, but they did not end you. They may have shaken you, but they did not remove your light. They may have made you cry, but they did not take away your ability to heal. They may have made you question yourself, but now you are remembering who you are. You are worthy. You are enough. You are allowed to have peace. You are allowed to stop carrying the story. You are allowed to become free. Peace is not far away. It begins the moment you choose to stop fighting yourself and start holding yourself with love. As this healing journey settles in your heart, let yourself remember the simple truth that brought you here. When they hurt you, stay calm, not because the hurt was small, but because your peace is sacred. Stay calm, not because you have no feelings, but because your feelings deserve to be held with care. Stay calm, not because they were right, but because you are choosing not to let pain make a home inside you. This calm is not weakness. It is your spirit standing up softly and saying, I will not become what hurt me. I will not let this wound take over my life. I choose peace because I deserve to heal. You have carried enough. You have replayed enough. You have questioned yourself enough. Now let your heart rest from the fight. Let the need to prove, explain, chase, and understand begin to loosen. You do not need every answer in order to heal. You do not need their apology in order to return to yourself. You do not need their regret in order to know your value. You do not need their love in order to be loved by life. What you need now is your own gentle presence, your own kindness, your own protection, your own decision to stop turning someone else's actions into your identity. Let peace wash over the part of you that still feels hurt. Let peace touch the place that felt rejected. Let peace soften the anger that has been trying to protect you. Let peace hold the sadness that never received the apology it deserved. Let peace remind you that you are safe to feel and safe to release. You do not have to hold the pain tightly to prove it mattered. It mattered. It hurt. It changed something. And now, with love, it can also become something you heal from. You are allowed to forgive without returning. You are allowed to release without approving. You are allowed to remember without reopening the wound. You are allowed to love someone from a distance and still choose yourself. You are allowed to be soft and still have boundaries. You are allowed to be peaceful and still be powerful. There is no contradiction here. This is the new wisdom growing inside you, a wisdom that says, love must include me too. Peace must include me too. Care must include me too. From this moment forward, let your energy come home. Bring it back from the questions. Bring it back from the old messages. Bring it back from the pain of waiting. Bring it back from the hope that kept you tied to confusion. Bring it back from the version of you that thought love had to be earned through suffering. Bring it back to your own heart. Place it gently there. Let your heart feel full of you again. Let our life become yours again. You are not broken. You are healing. You are not behind. You are learning. You are not unlovable. You are remembering how deeply worthy you have always been. The person who hurt you may have awakened pain, but they also awakened a deeper strength. They showed you where your peace needed protection. They showed you where your heart needed your own love. They showed you where the old pattern was ready to end. And now, you are choosing a new way, a calmer way, a wiser way, a way that honors your soul. Let these final words become a soft promise within you. I choose peace. I release what hurts me. I forgive myself for what I did not know before. I protect my energy with love. I return to myself with kindness. I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of calm. I am worthy of love that feels safe. I do not have to chase healing. I allow healing to rise within me. I am safe to let go. I am safe to begin again. And as you move forward, remember this. They may have hurt you, but they do not get to keep your peace. They may have disappointed you, but they do not get to define your worth. They may have left a wound, but they do not get to decide how beautifully you heal. Your heart is still yours. Your life is still yours. Your future is still open. Peace is waiting for you, not far away, but right here in the gentle choice to come back to yourself. Choose peace now. Choose healing now. Choose yourself now.